It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity. It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity.
Hello, model citizens. Welcome to Junction. Tonight on Trains and Tech, we're going to talk about what I bring to an operations session. And I'm glad to see in the chat there's a lot of very opinionated people, so I'm sure we are going to get some different results for some different people, which I'm kind of very excited to hear. I've started to realize that what people bring to op sessions seem to be fairly regional, and I'll talk about that a little bit more as we keep going. But last Friday, I had an op session. This weekend, I'm going up to Syracuse, the Syracuse area, for some operations. And then the following week, we're back here in my area for island ops, which I'm, again, very, very excited about that. I've got a bunch of things laying around, and we'll go through them, and we'll just talk about what I bring and why, and I'm very curious to hear if people agree or disagree. Before we get started, though, depending on how long the bag packing conversation goes, I do have an item on my bench here. So I have two proto-throttles. I really enjoy the proto-throttles. This one's got the latest firmware on it. This one has an earlier version of the firmware. So I just got in the mail the AVR programmer from ISE. And if we have time, I may try and update the firmware on this guy. I'm a little nervous to do it because I of course, don't want to blow this thing up. But I don't know. I feel like it's something I need to do. So hopefully, pending time, we'll get to that. Some of the other items I've gotten over the last week or so, I got the BLI CV setter. I think I talked a little bit about this on Facebook and on the community posts on YouTube, but I'm hoping to add this into my workflow with my BLI locos, making it a little easier to set them up and to address them for use on the layout. So I haven't even opened the box yet, but I got this over at Iron Planet Hobbies, and Ryan sent it over to me, so I'll definitely be giving that a try sooner than later, I hope. This is another set that I picked up. As some of you guys might know, I'm very into circus stuff. Microtrains has a lot of Ringling Brothers stuff. My understanding is they lost the Ringling license, but I guess they still have an interest in circus cars. So, you know, here you have it. Here is the Straight Show, which is another American circus that existed for a while. I am trying to figure out what Darren is saying here. I wish they made the Proto Throttle Lick a belt pack. I'm not sure what he's saying. One thing Microtrains did is when they shipped the Straights stuff, because I ordered it directly from them, they sent me this car as a thank you for your order, proudly made in America. Of course, as things go, I just happened to buy this car 2 weeks ago, and now I've got 2 of them. So, you know, if somebody really wants this, let me know, because I don't think I need 2 of them on my layout. So Adam is saying like a belt pack. I'll show you guys something real quick on these. I did the William Sandsman modification, and actually technically William did it. So my back box is smaller, and I've got the batteries on the outside. Because of that, I've got an Arca Swiss plate on the back that I have glued onto the back of it, and I use that plate to mount to pretty much anything. So my standard setup is this right here. Let's go to this camera. So this is my standard setup. I've got this monopod right here. The proto throttles just connect into the monopod, and now it's, you know, standalone proto throttle stand. You can, you know, move it if you want to operate it left-handed, you want to operate it right-handed. You can kind of get it exactly in the spot that you want it. That way you don't have to, you know, fiddle with it when you're fiddling with your car cards or stuff like that. So yeah, I am not going to be bringing this with me this weekend though. So let's put this off to the side and get on to the list. Ed says renumber it. Yeah, I could, but it's N scale. I don't know. Thomas says I bring powdered donuts and a bottle of rum. So that's an interesting thing. When I first started op sessions, I used to bring like donuts as kind of a thank you. And then I kind of started wondering, like, do layout owners, like, you don't want operators to have stuff on their hands and touch their locomotives. So I started getting this sort of feeling that, like, maybe bringing food isn't the best thing as a thank you, because operators might, or layout owners might not want certain types of food at layouts. So what I try and do now is mostly just, you know, provide good feedback and, you know, send thank you emails. And I stopped bringing food to layouts, but I'm kind of curious, you know, what people think, because maybe people have other opinions on it. But yeah, things like Doritos and cheese curls and even powdered donuts, like, they're easy to clean off your hands, but some people might not like that you bring them. So let's get on to what I bring. And even the first item, I feel, is a very regional item as to whether you bring them to a session or not. And I was kind of surprised, actually, that I went to BayRails this year, and I always bring the UWT throttle with me. This guy, I like operating with this, so I bring it with me. I bring it to all of the op sessions that I go to in this area. And I have a little kit I'll show you in a second, and I'll bring it to all the op sessions. So I brought it out to BayRails with me. And I was very surprised, but there was only one layout that had a Y-throttle server set up for other people to connect their, their throttles when they come. Here, everybody has Y-throttle servers set up, and a lot of people bring their own throttles. So it was interesting how regional it was. So I am going to bring the throttles with me. I will actually be bringing 2 of them with me. I bring 2 of them for a couple reasons. One, because I actually already, it broke and I already fixed it already. But I had broken one at one point in time. But now, I have the 2 of them. But the other reason is, if somebody's thinking about buying one and they've never tried it before, having the extra one gives me the opportunity to let other people, use them. And this is, so like Ed just commented, said, I doubt you'll be able to use it this weekend. Those that had Wi-Fi had issues and stopped using it. See, in my area, and I'm just speaking for my area, the layouts that use NCE command stations have stopped using the NCE wireless throttles because a lot of people are having problems with NCE wireless. So everybody in this area has switched to the TCS throttles. So I'm very shocked to hear people are having Wi-Fi issues, because in this area, this is the solution in a lot of cases for people. So I don't know. I'm going to bring them just because they're kind of easy to bring. And what I tend to do is I pack my kind of ops bag, and I just kind of bring it all with me. So yeah, I mean, my setup's primarily Digitrax as well, kind of. So yeah, I do have, and originally I did buy this Digitrax throttle, thinking that I would take this everywhere with me. And I guess I'm wondering, should I bring this? I don't know, but I'll bring my standard kit is now to bring these 2 throttles. Now, how do I carry them? So I carry them, let me get this out of here because we don't need that yet. I carry them in a case that I got from a GoPro. So these are the cases that the GoPro Hero 9 comes in. I happen to have 2 GoPro Hero 9, so I have 2 of these cases, and I'll show you what I have in the other one a little bit later. But I put a sticker on it just so that it's easy to identify that it's mine, just in case somebody has one that is similar. But I found this to be a really easy case to easily fit, the 2 throttles in them, as well as have a lot of space for a lot of different things as well. Do your throttles run on other operations layouts using their simplex or duplex systems like Digitrax uses? The TCS throttles use the Y-throttle server. So these connect over Wi-Fi. If I brought this throttle, this Digitrax throttle is the UT6D for duplex. So this would connect over people's duplex systems. The way you get it on somebody's duplex system is you have to hard plug it in, hardwire it once. Once it's hardwired, it will acquire the network information, and then it'll be able to connect to it again. But the UWT throttles, you basically just connect to their Wi-Fi server, Wi-Fi router, I guess I should say, and you can connect that way. One of the next things that I bring, and this is, again, a lot just personal preference. most all layout owners will have uncoupling sticks, but I've really started liking these, which are knitting needles with a piece of shrink wrap in the center for a little added grip. These are a harder wood than your typical bamboo skewer. They're also smaller than your bamboo skirt, however you say that word. But these are what I bring, and I bring a couple of them. If people like them and want one, they can have them, but I just bring a couple. I usually put 2 in my pocket for an op session, because in general I'll end up losing one and then finding one later on in the session. So I'll generally put 2 in my pocket and be able to make it through an entire session. This is a good point and kind of a comment as well. The reason I have throttles is because I have my own layout. So I bought the 2 UWT-50s so that when people come to my layout, they don't need to bring a throttle. I have enough throttles for people, you know, to use the throttles that I own. I personally like having my own throttle that I bring with me. That said, most layouts you won't need to bring a throttle, except for, like I mentioned earlier, I went to a recent op session, and the person at the op session is not using their NCE wireless throttles anymore. So I brought these 2, as well as my UWT-100, which also fits in here. So I ended up bringing all 3 throttles just to help him out with some throttles. But yeah, anyway, on to batteries, because a couple people are mentioning it as well. Usually for an op session, I will make sure that before I leave that I have batteries in the throttle. The reason I don't have any in here now is because my spare batteries are on my home charger charging up, so I will put them in before I go. But I do also have this little AA pack thing here, and I've actually got 2 of them. So depending on the op session I'm going to, if I'm going to an out-of-town op session, I'll bring all of these backups. If I'm going to a local session, I may only bring, you know, 1 set of them just as backups. But yeah, so I usually bring AA batteries. Each of these takes 2 AA batteries. So if I needed to replace them all, you know, one set would replace them. So Dennis from Otter Creek keeps asking, and I'm not ignoring you, Dennis. I'm getting there. My battery of choice are these Tenergy Premium Pros. I will even zoom in so that people can see them. This is the battery that I've been using. I did a little bit of research. I think Project Farm, I think, did a review on them. A bunch of reviews out there on various batteries. These are nickel metal hydride batteries, 1.2 volts, 2,800 milliamp hours. I have had a lot of success with these. I'll usually go easily 2 op sessions on a set of batteries, sometimes more. I usually will change them every op session, just to change them every op session. The downside of rechargeable batteries is when they run out, they fall off a cliff, meaning that the battery meter on the throttle never ever reads full. It never ever reads empty. It just kind of goes from working for 8 to 10 hours to not working. So that's this will also then go in with this sort of setup. So typically my setup that I just kind of carry with me is the 2 throttles, all the extra backup batteries and stuff. And let me see, do I put anything else in here? No. We'll talk about some of the other stuff. So this is pretty much what goes in this case. Don, hold that thought. Ask me about that in a couple of seconds, because I do bring one. It just goes in a different pouch. Paul says he just shows up and smile. And honestly, if you show up with nothing and you have a good attitude, that's generally a good thing. There are some layouts, though, where people want you to bring some things. But generally the layout owner will specifically ask. So this is GoPro case number 1. And let's talk about this question, because I think it's a great question. Do you use your phone as a throttle? I do not. There are a lot of people that do that, and a lot of people can. I tend to use my throttle holding it like down at my waist. Like when I'm operating, my throttle's kind of usually down here, so I'm not actually looking at the throttle. So if it just had a touch screen, then I wouldn't be able to see what I'm doing. I'd have to keep looking at the throttle. So generally just keep it down by my side. Dennis, with these batteries, I have never had that issue, but I usually change them at least every two sessions as well. And if I showed up to Paul's layout and all he had for me was a smartphone, I would be very, very glad that I brought my own throttle. So the next thing we're going to look at is this right here. And this is my other case, and you can see they've got 2 different stickers so that I can tell them apart. And what this case is this is my FRS radio kit. And this is actually going to change for this session. This was my first radio. I really like this radio, but I have one of these speaker mic things with the radio. And I've really started realizing that, one, I don't hear when people are calling me on this all the time, so I miss calls. But also, if everybody in the room has a speaker mic, the second somebody keys in, you get all kinds of feedback and all kinds of problems and basically various issues. So this was a very good FRS radio, but I wanted to get away from the speaker mic, and this radio, I couldn't find a good headset for this radio. The next radio I got was a Redivis. I really like the durability of these Redivis radios. The problem with the Redivis radios, though, is that the majority of them you have to pre-program. So if you're bringing your FRS radio to another layout, and that layout owner says, I'm channel 8 privacy code 2, I would have no way of setting the privacy codes on this radio. The only way to program this radio is with one of these USB programming cables. So while I love the durability of this radio, that went out the window. So then I went searching for a new set of radios, and I'll show you in 1 second what I ended up picking up. Before I get there, so here's the thing. I provide the Wi-Fi information for my setup because I have a separate Wi-Fi setup for my layout. And I understand that that's probably a little technically advanced for some people, but I do kind of think that with the amount of people in the model railroading community, if you do want to set up Y-throttle, there are plenty of people around that will happily help you set it up. But like Don mentions, and Don Iris has been operating significantly longer than I have. I'm not saying Don is old, but Don is older, and he got into operations a lot sooner than I did. And it used to never be a thing to bring your own throttle. So it, you don't need to bring your own throttle. I just do it because I'm kind of, you know, I am who I am. What am I going to say about that? So back to the radios. So what I ended up doing is I looked around for an FRS radio with a headset that I liked wearing. A lot of the headsets that I would try would be like in ear or around the ear, and after like a 3-hour session, my ear would be killing me from wearing the headset. So again, the FRS radios are generally not something you need to bring with you. Layout owners will tend to like when you bring FRS radios, because a lot of layout owners will just have just enough radios, and if one of their radios goes down, they won't have enough radios. But what I decided to do is I said, let me find a headset that I like, and then I will find a radio that goes with that headset. So my first task was finding a headset that I liked, and I couldn't believe how hard that was to actually find, but I did finally actually find one. And Don, just to address your comment, I am the same way. My layout generally holds 3 operators plus me. I have started this thing where if the layout session is going really well, I will start running the road trains just to complicate things, just for fun. So at most, there are 4 people with throttles, operating things. When I'm in here on my own, right? So after my op session on Friday night, I had some work to finish up. So I was in here running trains on my own. I had both proto-throttles going, and I was operating 2 separate trains with 2 separate proto-throttles. Not always the case, but I have 2 proto-throttles, 3 TCS throttles, 2 Digitrax throttles, and with the Y-throttle server, people can use their phones as well. So with a max of 4 operators, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 throttles for 4 people. So, and yes, I love using the proto throttle. Now that the proto throttles are set up, that is absolutely my throttle of choice. When I went out to BayRails, one of the layout owners had a proto throttle. I saw it and I said, hey, if I can run that on the layout, I'd love to have whatever job, I could run that with on the layout. So Don, when you come to my layout, we will put one of the proto throttles aside for your use, and you can tell me if my setup works or doesn't work. CLL, if you've gotten Zello to work well, I would love to talk to you. My original plan was to set up Zello, but I didn't have the kind of success that I was hoping for with it. The setup that I had with Zello, when you would push to talk, it would record your message, and then when you stopped talking, it would play back your message. And the FRS radios, I find they need to be more of an immediate communication. So the testing that I did with Zello didn't work out for my needs. But yeah, and my layout's not big enough for a phone system, but there are a bunch of layouts that I go to that do have phone systems. So yeah, if it works for you, let's maybe we'll talk and I will try and get it working. So what headset did I come up with? So it is a Retevis headset, and I actually ended up with 2 headsets because I was at a layout and somebody had another Retevis headset that they couldn't use, and they basically said it's not worth returning it. This one's $16, this one's $15, so I ended up with 2 of them. The reason, I don't know if I mentioned this, the reason I like having the FRS radio is because I like, you know, wearing my own headset, not having some other stranger's, you know, headset on my ears. I don't know, it's just me. But this one goes over your ears, sits on the back, has a little boom mic, and the speaker doesn't go in your ear, it just rests over your ear. I really liked this headset. Comes with the Kenwood 2-pin plug on it, and it does plug into this Retevis radio, but as I said, this Retevis radio, you can't plug in, or you can't set privacy tones on this one. So I went looking for other radios, and I couldn't believe how hard it was to find another radio. All I really wanted was a radio that charged via USB-C, had the K-plug protocol, and if possible, I wanted the radio to have AA batteries because I was already carrying AA batteries through the throttle. This radio right here has rechargeable batteries, but you could also put AA's in them. I couldn't find another FRS radio that had K-plug, USB-C, and AA batteries. So what I ended up with was these BT Tech radios. They're nice and small, they're light, they're kind of, you know, they're fine, but they have the K-plug, so this plugs into them. You can set the privacy codes right on the radio. So I got a pair of these. I think they were $32 or something. So the whole kit was $32 for these and like $16 for the headset. I am going to take both of these with me. Obviously, I can never use more than one at a time, but because I can't put AA's in these, I'll bring both of them. I'll charge them at night, and if they still work, they work great. I'm just going to keep wearing this headset now just because I think it's funny that people keep commenting on it. I really don't need to be wearing this anymore. The other thing that I printed up was this little CT CSS code sheet. For whatever reason, instead of setting the CT CSS codes by the number, you set the CT CSS codes by the frequency on this radio. So another great use of my lamination machine, which I can't believe I lived so long without a lamination machine. So in this pouch, in addition to the two radios, we'll have that lamination card. And we will also put in that little pouch there, we'll put the power, the charging plug, I guess you can call it, for the radios. So we'll just drop that in there. We'll fold this up as well, and this then goes in here, and this then becomes my second little pouch, right? So I've got my throttles in one of these little pouches, the FRS radios in that pouch. Unfortunately, these headsets don't fit in one of the pouches. They don't kind of fold up. So I've been using the box that they come in as the storage for the headsets. And because the other headset is so light and fits in the box the same as this other one, I just keep both of them in there. So this is kind of the main setup for like a local event. So if I'm going to a local op session, these are the items that will be in my bag. I've got more stuff though to show that also ends up in my bag that's not necessarily ops related, but it's stuff that I bring to op sessions. So I thought we'd also go through that stuff. So we'll get into that stuff next. While we were talking about batteries, when I'm going and doing an overnight event anywhere, I do bring this smaller charger. I have an 8-bay. of this charger mounted on the wall over here next to me. And I have this one that is a little 4-banger, and it's got a USB-C cable. Again, I'm trying to get everything that I bring with me to be USB-C chargeable. It means less cables because then everything is USB-C. So this is the first and main item that goes in this pouch here. This is kind of my miscellaneous pouch. This pouch has my miscellaneous stuff. So Don Iris was asking earlier about a flashlight. So this is the pouch that has the little LED flashlight in it. It's just a nice small little flashlight. This has a USB-C, charging cable as well for other stuff. Got a little, power brick for charging stuff. This is a little multi-tool that I have, and I bring this just because you never know when you're going to need a little multi-tool thing. What else do we have in here? And then I've got basically some other USB-C cables. I don't know why I have a rubber band in here, but I do. I've got a couple little adapter things and stuff like that. So this is another, little pouch that I bring of short little USB-C cables. And this is where the portable charger and the, all the little cables and all the little stuff go. And they all live happily in there with the thing. What did Don say? Do you have someone to carry all this stuff like a caddy? I do. That person is me. It's not, none of this stuff is heavy, I guess. But yeah, so that's another item that's packed up and that I have stuff in. Somebody's asking about a power pack. I do have this guy that is charging right here. You can kind of see it. Take it off the charger. It's almost dead right now, but this is a MagSafe charger power pack, so it just snaps right on. MagSafe, and I have stickers on it, obviously, so I can identify and find it. But yeah, this is the one I bring with me. I can generally get 2-ish solid charges with it as well. So that always goes with me. Of course, my phone always goes with me. So I have one more kind of bag of stuff, and then we'll get to some of the loose items. But this is, people were asking like what I guess what I carry stuff in. This is a new bag that I just got. I think I showed it last week. So this is the bag that I'm gonna load up with all my stuff, because who doesn't look dorky wearing their own logo on a bag? And my goal is to be and look as dorky as I possibly can going to an op session. I used to carry this bag here. I felt this one was a little bit too stylish, and I wanted to make sure that I looked a little bit more, geeky and dorky. So that's why I got this one. So now I've got the logo on here. I've got a shirt with a logo. I've got a hat with a logo. I can look like a complete goofball coming from a mile away. So here's the other bag. This is a bag that I keep bringing to op sessions, and I end up not using anything in this bag at all. And I want to change that, but I'm not sure how to change that. What I mean by that is I'm a YouTuber, I guess you can say. I'm here. The logo. Oh, that's too funny. So I'm going to an op session in Syracuse. If you don't know, Ray Arnott from Around the Layout is up in the Syracuse area, and Ray and his brother, Joe Mammy, are going to be at the op sessions, and I'm actually going to be at one of the op sessions with them. So when I was packing, I, of course, saw my Around the Layout shirt, and I was thinking, like, how much of a dork should I be? Should I wear my Around the Layout shirt to the op session that I know that Ray and his brother were going to be at? And ultimately, I decided no. I thought it would be dorkier if I wear my own logo. So instead, I am going to wear my own logo. Ed, when you come to visit my layout, on the door, when you walk up to the front of the door, I have an illuminated logo on the front of the door so that you can find the room. So I do have an illuminated logo, just not one that I could I could yeah. Anyway. So what Ray just said, I think, is very important and a valid statement. And he's not going to wear his logo because it's not about his podcast. It's about the layout and operations. And that is a good segue right back to this bag. This is the bag that's got my camera stuff in it, right? So I've got the Insta360 X3. I've got the stick that goes along with the Insta360 X3. In the front here, I've got, this is a little phone mount tripod. I've got, this is another little tripod thing. And then also this tripod is going to end up in here as well. So I've got basically my whole camera setup, and I guess I should put this, which are the spare batteries for the Insta360. So this is my kind of like my little YouTubing camera kit, right? And I end up putting this in my operations bag, and I never bring it out at an op session. I would like to promote model railroading operations, so I would love to highlight layouts by showing op sessions. But when I go to an ops weekend, I am going there to operate. And I find that I will take some pictures with my phone. I may even take a video if I have a really slow moment. But I'm not making YouTube videos when I'm there. So I keep bringing this, and it kind of stays in my bag. And yeah, it's funny you say that, Robert. I actually haven't had any issues with TSA. They don't seem to have any issues with me. I don't know. Ray says, I'll be the guy wearing earplugs in the corner using the layout owner provided equipment and doing exactly what I've been told. And Paul says I can bring it to his layout. One of the other things I do have in my bag, I usually bring with me, are some foam earplugs. Primarily I use them for, you know, if like Ray is trying to talk to me, I could put them in my ears, and then I don't have to hear him anymore. But no, I mean, primarily I have them for if I'm flying somewhere, or if I'm in the hotel and there are like kids screaming or something like that. So yeah, just I was a Cub Scout. I was never a Boy Scout, or maybe I was a Boy Scout. I don't remember, but I was definitely a Cub Scout. If you need something during an op session, ask me. I will probably have it. As far as, so just to address this as well, you know, Ray was saying like, he just uses whatever the layout owner gives him. I absolutely will read the room, as they say. I don't show up with the throttle around my neck and the headset on with the radio. I walk in and I see the layout owner setup, and I suss out whether it's appropriate or not. But yeah. This is a funny one. I actually usually don't bring deodorant with me, but that is a very good point. You should always, 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 always take a shower before an op session. A lot of layouts have some very tight spaces, and you don't want to be that guy. Ray says, I'll make it very easy for you not to hear me. I promise you that. I'm not sure exactly what he means by that, but we'll find out, I'm sure, over the weekend. Some other things that I bring, just to kind of get to them, and then I think we might actually get to programming things. So Ed says gum and Tic Tacs, so I guess we'll go there first. I don't have gum and Tic Tacs at the moment. I do have these Bach rescue pastilles, natural stress relief, and I've got the Tums antacids because, I don't know. Sometimes I need a little bit of support, so I've got the Tums with me. One of the other things I always have in my bag as well is I try and bring some reading material. I generally never get around to reading the reading material. I don't know if it's just that I can't read or what the situation might actually be, but I guess I kind of feel like maybe through osmosis I'll be able to get some information. Yeah, so I don't bring, do you always go with the buddy? I don't. I know Ray goes with his buddy and Don goes with his buddy. I don't have a buddy. No, nobody wants to be friends with me. And based on all of the things that I have in my backpack, I guess you can understand why people don't want to be my friend. Don says, I didn't remember you having all that equipment when you came to my place. I'm trying to think if I did. I think I did. I'm pretty sure that I did, actually. But like I said, like, when you walk into Don's layout, well, no, I did. I definitely had this stuff with me because I had the proto throttle with me. So this proto throttle was in one of those 2 cases that I showed earlier. So I did have all this stuff with me, but I think what Don just said is kind of a good example. Like, I didn't make a big deal that I have all that stuff. I will usually come in and try and find a little hole somewhere to stick my bag, and when I need stuff, I'll get what I need, and if I don't need stuff, yeah. So that's just what I do. Dennis said he's traveling up when he said, no, that's not the one. Somewhere he said, planning on heading up tomorrow and getting in an extra op session. Who are you getting an op session with? I'm going to be heading up on Friday. Friday night, Bill Brown has arranged a dinner. Don, are you going to that dinner? Ray, are you going to that dinner? Ed, dinner? Bill Brown's organized a dinner at a restaurant that's right along a railroad track. So due to the distance I have to travel, I could come in Saturday morning. The first session I don't think starts till like 12:30 or something like that. So I could very much just drive in Saturday morning. But my company started a new PTO policy, basically take them or lose them. So I'm taking the day off. All right, so let's get to this. The first thing that we need to do to update the firmware on a proto throttle, and I'm kind of hoping that somebody here has maybe done it before, because I don't know what I'm doing. I mean, I guess you can say that in general about me, that I don't know what I'm doing, but in this case, I've never done this before. So what I do have is over here on my other screen, I do actually have the proto throttle firmware update, and this is what I'm going to follow. And hopefully by following this, I will not release the smoke on the proto throttle. A big reason that I made the modification and put the batteries on the outside is because I hate having to unscrew this just to get to it, but we're gonna see if this works. The hardest part of this, I believe, is this part right here, which, let's move this over a little bit. This part right here, you have to connect the connector just the right way so that the power is going to the correct pin on the proto throttle. And if you connect it to the wrong pin on the proto throttle, it means you are sending power up one of the data pins instead of up the power pin, and sending 3.3 volts into a circuit that should not be getting 3.3 volts. Not a good thing. Okay, so all 4 screws are out. It just comes open just like anything else. Because I have the battery set up the way I have it, it's on a connector. This connector for the battery should come off. For whatever reason, though, I tried pulling it off for a little while the other day. I couldn't get it apart, so we're just going to leave it all connected. I did take the batteries out, so there's no batteries, so the only power going to the board is going to be through this little adapter right here. Important thing, you need to make sure the switch on the adapter is set to 3.3 volts. The typical AVR programmer that you get only has 5 volts. So if you don't use ISE's AVR programmer, you need to create some circuitry so that you get 3 volts. Do not send 5 volts into your thing. So they say find the arrow. The arrow shows pin 1, the power pin. That is pin 1 right there. So this connects like this. And I know this is going to be the part that disappoints everybody, but oh, you know what, I can well, this is the cable that came with it, is this short little cable. I'm not going to risk blowing this thing up, or at least I'm going to try very hard not to blow this up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go plug this into my computer over there. If smoke starts coming out, we'll deal with it then. But this is going to go under here. And we're going to plug it into the computer. And the lights came on. And so far no smoke. So that's a good thing. I'm very happy that there was no smoke. So now we are going to go to this is my layout computer. Let's just go back here. This is the computer I have JMRI on. This is the computer that I'm trying to keep most of the model railroaded related items on. Yeah. It's all just for show. But anyway, so the program that we need to update this according to the instructions from Iowa Scaled Engineering is this mrgui.exe. So we'll open this up. When this window pops up, according to the instructions, let's find it again right here. It says that we want to select the AT Mega 1284P, and then we'll click OK. So we're going to go back here and we're going to click OK. And now that brought up this window right here. So yeah, Mr. GUI, I used to know that guy. I do, Robert. I showed it a little earlier. I do have a 5-volt pack with me. So what we're going to do now, sorry, let me go back here. Under Program, we're going to go to Update Firmware. So let's try that. One thing I have not done yet at this point is set a COM port anywhere. Anywhere? Set a COM port? I don't know what I'm saying. So let's go back here. We'll go to Program. We'll go to Update Firmware. And now it is looking for the hex file. And I have the hex file in my download folders right here. What I am installing is 1.2.2, which is the version that came out in 2021. The version that's on there right now is 1.1.0. So we are going to click Open. And this little console window comes up, and the console window says error, could not find USB tiny device. So what that means is I have the incorrect port selected. So how do I set the port? Let's see. The driver should be installed. Advanced, help, file. I don't know how to set the port on this. Who knows? Read EEPROM, write EEPROM. I can't see this. Let's go to actual size. Make it a little bigger so I can read it. So I did read through everything, but what I did not find, let's see, if we click Install Driver, let's see what happens. What could go wrong? Installing drivers. This is another reason I use my other computer. File set config. I'll look for that in a second. Let's see if it's installing this USB driver. Oh, it did find the device. It says right here, found. So it did find it, which I guess is a good thing. I probably should not have the proto throttle plugged in while we're installing this driver, but it does say it's installing it. Installation successful. That's a good sign. So yes, Don, so if you have version 1.2.2 on your proto throttle, which you get to by going to the diagnostics window, I believe, then you do not need to update your proto throttle. So this one that I'm trying to update right now, I got after 2021, but it was one of the earlier ones bought. But yeah, you might not need to. So let's go Program, let's go Update Firmware again. Let's select the hex file. Let's click Open. And what does it say? Let's see, reading, device signature, double, AVR dude, EXE done, thank you. Do we think this actually worked? Did something that I actually attempted to do actually work? Let's find out. Let's unplug this. Let's bring everything back over to the bench over here. So just so you can see, this is the port it plugs into right here. So we're going to unplug the programmer. We are going to flip this over. We don't need to screw it together just to do this testing. So we'll put the batteries in. Proto throttle comes on, and we are going to go, and oh no, it does say light engine, which I don't think is the updated version. But let's see, we'll go to, I believe it's under diagnostics, and go through and go to version. Yep, so see it says version 110. So for whatever reason, it thinks it programmed the proto throttle, but it didn't program the proto throttle. So I don't know why. I guess we can, I don't know, should we try it again one more time? this time with feeling, as they say. Maybe maybe if we have a little bit more feeling while we do it, it will work this time. And of course, if it doesn't work, I'll I don't know. I don't know what I'll do if it doesn't work. Maybe I'll cry a lot. So it's finding the programmer. I wonder if it's not finding, I wonder if it's not connecting to the proto throttle, which I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know if you should see anything on the screen of the proto throttle. Oh, it does. It does power up. It powers up. It says low battery. Okay, so it's definitely getting power. That's a good sign. I don't think you actually selected the file correctly. All right, well, let's try it again. So we're going to come back over here. We are going to go Program, Update Firmware. We are going to click on this, and then basically I just clicked this Open button down here. And I mean, it does seem to be going, it says updating firmware. It says it's initialized and ready to accept. The unit just says low battery, though. It doesn't seem to have double check chip. It's saying it's done. Let's go look at the instructions. Oh, see, look, it does seem to show that there's a lot more that it should be doing. The console screen will be below. Running process, be on the lookout for any errors. If successful, you should see AVR dude NNN bytes of flash verified. Okay, so something is definitely not working. Program update firmware. Find the hex file. All right, what am I doing wrong? Who can find the answer? If using Windows, be sure to complete the driver install step 3 of the instructions below. I thought I did that. Attach the programmer. If the yellow LED on the programmer, the slide switch is not set correctly. Well, this was fun. I hope you've all learned something from this. The thing that I have learned from this is it didn't work. Wrong AT chip selection. I selected the one they told me to select. They said select generic AT Mega 128VP, and that is what I selected. If we close this, we'll go back, we can reopen it. AT1284P, which is this bottom one down here, and click OK. And where's the window? Oh, there it is. Oh, interesting. This is a different window that came up this time. Huh. Very interesting. Update. Let's try this again. Open. Hey, look, writing. It says it's writing. Well, Adam, thank you for saving the day. The proto throttle, all the lights have gone off on the proto throttle, so I think that's a good sign. I don't really know. I don't know what it's supposed to be doing. But now it's reading. Now it says 33,922 bytes of flash verified. Thank you. There we go. Okay, now we're cooking with gas, as they say. Let's unplug everything. Let's bring it over. And let's see if we've got version... let's put the batteries in. Now, what I have a feeling, though, is that it wiped all of my setup, which, you know, it's not the worst thing in the world. Okay, so it comes up with that. Let's see, load. Oh, look, it looks like it does have all my configs still. That's kind of fun. So let's go down here to diagnostics. You hit this button here, select into it, hit this button here. It took me a while to learn the buttons, And oh yeah, Adam gets a happy birthday. I'm not gonna sing happy birthday for Adam, but Adam definitely gets a happy birthday for that. Let's see. Version 1.2.2. Yes! We did something right. I know I'm as shocked as anybody else. Don, if you want to bring your proto throttle, we can update it if it needs updating, and or just bring your proto throttle, and then we'll have 3 proto throttles, and then everybody can use one during that session. If not, if anybody wants to come operate, though, we do have 2 proto throttles. We got TCS throttles. We got a layout here, a layout that wants to be operated. So, you know, come join the fun if operations is your thing. If operations isn't your thing, come join the fun, and maybe it'll become your thing. Who knows? From the city that never sleeps, thanks for following along on this crazy model railroading journey that I'm on. Farewell, model citizens.
It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity.